Hey there guys, what is going on, and welcome on back into Farming Sim 22, where today I'm going to be talking about all the different ways in which you can make money in Farming Sim 22 currently. Now, trying to figure all of this out can get quite complicated, so what I'm going to try and do is break it down into as simple form as possible. However, if I do go too quick for any of you, then feel free to pause the video and go back and re-listen to what I'm saying, and hopefully everything will make sense. If you do at the end of this video still have any questions about how to make money in the game, please do feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below. Another thing before we get into the video that I would like to say is thank you to all of you guys out there that have been subscribing. I've noticed that the subs have just been going up, and I really do appreciate it, everybody. It's a sign that you guys are liking the videos that I'm putting out, and believe me, there's plenty more to come. So to break things down into a real simple way, there are four main types of money that you can make in Farming Sim, which would be the crops, the animals, forestry, and generators. They tend to be the four main ways that you can make money. Obviously, there will be subcategories within that, which we're about to get into, but they tend to be the four main things that people focus on. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the first one, crops. Now, there are a couple of different ways that you can use the crops to make some money. For example, in terms of field work, you can go ahead and harvest a crop straight from the field and sell it off at a sell point, or what you can do is you can go ahead and put it into the storage until the price maxes out in the peak time of the year. Now, to find out when that is, all you have to do is go onto the menu like this and go over to the crop section here. Click on show price fluctuations, and that will show you that, for example, wheat, the peak price is in January. Every single crop in the game will have a peak price. As you can see, not all of them have the same peak price. For example, grapes, their peak is in May, but this is always good to check to know what kind of price you can expect and if it's better to hold on or to sell right away. But of course, from fields, the crop itself is not the only thing that gets produced. For example, with a lot of crops, you also get straw. Now, straw may seem like a really small percentage of the income, but it does all add up. And then once you are done with the baler, you can just go ahead and return it to the shop. No harm, no foul, and no additional cost. One of the new features that has been added in 2022 is the rocks that are in the field. Now, these can be collected using a rock picker and then sent over to a crushing site, which I do believe you can buy from the menu under the factory section to refine down and sell, again, making profit, making that field work for you and giving you guys a better return on your investment. Now, that pretty much covers the field crop, but there are also another couple of ways that you can make money, and they are the greenhouses and the orchards. Now, greenhouses are a brand new thing in the game where you can plant things like lettuce, tomatoes, strawberries, which can then, again, either be sold off or can actually be sent over to refinement places where you can turn them into other goods to be sold at a much higher value. But do not worry about that, we will go ahead and cover those in a little while. But for now, bringing it back to the greenhouses, they're a semi-passive income source, okay? All you have to do once you buy them, choose which crop you want to grow and then add water to them, and they will do the rest. You don't even have to sell them because you can also turn on auto selling. However, if you do choose to sell them manually, you are more likely to make a little bit of extra money, and you do also have to do the manual process of picking them up and taking them over to the factory if you do want to go down the refinement process in turning them into a better product. Currently, the orchards have two types of crop that you can grow, which are grapes and olives. I'm sure that down the line we will get things like apples, pears, oranges, lemons, all that good stuff, but that I'm sure will either be down to a DLC or the modding community taking over and implementing them into the game. So that pretty much covers the crop side of things. Now, moving on to industry number 2, which would be the animal husbandry aspect of the game. Currently in the game, we have pigs, sheep, chickens, cows, and horses. However, I'm sure that over time, either as a DLC again, or through the modding community, we will get things like goats, alpacas, and probably some kind of crazy animal species that nobody's ever heard of, that we can then go ahead and start to work with as well. However, obviously from the animals, you get a couple of different options of what you can do with them. The first one is obviously going to be breeding them, increasing the population and then selling off the excess livestock. But also with things like the sheep, the chickens, and the cows, they do produce goods as well. Sheep would be their wool, cows their milk, and chickens the eggs. And now the milk and eggs can be sent off to a bakery or sold as the raw form that they come in. And the same with the wool. You can either sell it as wool pelts, or you can take it off to a spinnery. And again, guys, it's the vertically integrated production aspect of the game, which is going to be making you that extra money. Moving on from that is one of the most tedious ways, in my opinion, of making money, which would be the forestry aspect of the game. Can be quite fun, but can also be quite frustrating. But forestry is featured in the game since 2015 when it was first introduced, and this year has been a big step up in terms of the way that you can do forestry. Now, you still have the traditional ways of either selling the planks off to the lumberyard, or you can sell the wood chips as well if you want to do that. However, now with these new factories that they are putting in, and I am talking a lot about the factories because I do think they are going to go ahead and have a big presence in FS22. You can also go ahead and take the wood straight over there, have it refined down at the lumberyard, or even at the carpenter, where again it will be taken from that raw good and refined into something which can then be sold for a much higher price. Again, takes more work and it takes more time, but it's the cost versus the reward that is the question that you have to ask yourself. Do you feel like it's worth it? One of the things that I think is really cool about FS22 is the way that now you are literally going to get to watch your crop go through every stage of its life. You're going to be able to plant it in the field as a seed, watch it grow, harvest it, refine it, turn it into something as a final product, and then sell that as well. So it means that you get to be integrated from the very start to the very finish of its lifespan, which we haven't ever seen before in a farming sim game, and that is one of the main reasons that I think FS22 is absolutely, without a doubt, the best farming game that has been produced by Giants so far. And now, after forestry, we move on to the factories. And I know that I've been speaking a lot about factories today, but let me go ahead and show you why. So if we go onto our buy menu here and we go down to construction, you can see here that we have a production tab. Now, in the production tab, we have all sorts of things. So we have the biogas plant. So now with the bakery, what you can do is you can plant sugarcane, you can get the greenhouses for strawberries, get some chickens for the eggs, some cows for the milk, take your flour from the wheat and barley that you produce in the field, refine it down, and then sell it off. So you can see the way that it's all being integrated now into the game, and how you have to have a little bit of everything before you can go ahead and get these final products. But it gives you something to work up to that is way bigger than just simply making stuff in a field. And then here again, this is the carpentry facility that I was talking about before. So again, you can take either your wooden planks or you can take your trees as they are, and they will get turned into both furniture and also wood chip right there, which will make you some money. So again, just showing the way that raw goods can now be refined into something which would never be possible in a previous farming sim game. And that's one of the major things that I think they brought to the table with FS22, which is really, really cool. And then after the factories, we move on to the final aspect of making money, or the main category, I suppose, of making money in farming sim. Now again, guys, like I say, I do understand this is a lot of information to process, so please do feel free to either go back through the video and hear it all again, or ask any questions that you have down in the comments. But the final section of making money, the major section out there, is going to be through the generators. Now these are pure passive income generators. They are things like solar energy and wind energy. So you can go ahead and you can place these onto the map. So you go into construction here, again, where it's on the production side of things, you go to generators, and you can see here that we have solar collectors, we have wind energy converters, we have wind turbines, and there you go. So these are the things that you place down wherever you own land, and these over time will pay themselves off. Now, the initial investment here is 750,000, and it takes 325 per hour. And if my math is correct, it's going to take about 91 days for this to pay itself off before it actually starts making profit. But after that, you will be in the green forevermore, as this takes no maintenance, it takes no input from yourself. You literally buy it and leave it, and over time it will make its money back. Now, on the animal section, I didn't mention the bees because I don't see them as a out and out animal. I see them more as a third sector animal, sort of something that's semi-passive, semi-involved, but you can see here that we have the beehives available as well, which will produce honey, which you can then again refine down in the factories. But the bees are another way of making some money right here, and I do believe that when you have the beehive located on the map, you can again either choose to have it sell automatically, or you can manually sell the product yourself. I do hope that you have enjoyed the video. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and also thank you to all of the guys that have been subscribing off the back of these videos. We've just hit 400 subs, which is absolutely awesome. Really excited to see the channel growing, and I take it as a sign that you guys are enjoying the content that I'm putting out there. So I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, enjoy the farming out there. Feel free to ask me anything down in the comments, or even head over to my Twitch, where I will be streaming every single day, and I am more than happy to answer your questions live on stream over at twitch.tv/AndyWillsTV. Until then, thank you again for watching. Enjoy the farming out there. Peace.